Hi everyone, my name is Sabrina. I'm from Indonesia and I've been living in Japan for 3 years. In this video, I want to share my experience as a Muslim living in Japan. In my university, there were a lot of foreign students, so I've had the chance to make friends with the Japanese, but also with people from different countries. And I personally love being asked about my belief or my culture. I didn't find it offensive at all because I think I learned that they were just curious about me because sometimes a lot of them haven't actually had a Muslim friend and they were just wondering, for example, why do I have to cover my hair or why do I have to pray every day. And I really appreciate it when people approach me to ask these things. So I was in the train with my friend who was also Indonesian, but she was not wearing hijab because she was not a Muslim, and the train was kind of empty at that time. There was Ojiisan, there was an old man sitting across to us. He kept staring at us for minutes without saying anything. It felt so awkward, but right before he left the train, he came to us and he didn't speak English, so he was like pointing at us while speaking Japanese and asking, "Why are you covering your hair and she's not?" And then I said that, "Oh yes, we are from Indonesia and I'm a Muslim, so I need to cover my hair, but she's not, so she doesn't need to cover her hair." And he was like nodding and said, "Soka, soka," and then left the train. It was okay. It was just, we just felt a little bit awkward. And I think maybe it was the first time for him to see like a girl wearing hijab in real life. Like how innocent this question is, I think my friends from university asked this, and the answer is no, we don't have to cover our hair at home. I was coming over to my host family and she had a friend coming over to her house too, and I knew her because we've met a few times before. And when she saw me again, she saw me with a different color and style of hijab, so she was asking if I had rules on what kind of way to cover my hair. I also had another Japanese friend asking the same thing. I think their question came from their understanding that Arab and Islam are the same, and maybe they often see in television or just in the media in general of how Muslim women wear black niqab or hijab, and they got the idea that it has to be a certain color. Actually, it doesn't really bother me so much, maybe because I'm already getting used to it, but also the fabric that I'm wearing in the summer is quite thin, so it doesn't really bother me that much. A lot of Japanese people, at least the ones that I know, they do not practice religion in their daily lives, and from my point of view, things that I see as religious events like Christmas or going to shrine in the New Year, for them it's more like a part of their culture. I mean, even if they celebrate Christmas or go to certain shrines to wish for certain wishes, like they want to have children, so they would go to the shrine, or they want to pass the examination, so they would go to the shrine to pray for it. But I mean, they would not associate themselves with a certain type of belief. It's more like already a part of their culture, and I found that interesting. I understand where this question comes from, because in Japan and probably other countries, drinking is a big part of their social life, and it would seem like you would be missing out if you are not drinking. I never thought of it that way, because obviously in Indonesia we don't really have the culture, and also alcohol is not sold in convenience store as much as they do in Japan. So I never really thought of it that way. However, in Japan, I would still join like laboratory party, or if my university friends would go to izakaya, then sometimes I still join them. Just because I don't want to miss out socializing with them, but I would still not drinking alcohol. There was a big understanding where one of my Japanese friends thought that the reasons why Muslims do not eat pork was because we believe that pork is actually Kamisama, and I just accidentally heard when she said it. So I immediately corrected her by saying that no, we didn't believe that pork is Kamisama. We just it's just a part of our living code as a Muslim, simply because it is written in the Quran, and that we take the word of God as like objective morality, like things that we certainly have to follow. Although there are many reasons of why I personally choose also not to eat pork because of the health reasons, but sometimes it's a little bit awkward to explain these things to people who would consume pork in daily life. I personally cannot, because I cannot swim. So when the month of Ramadan comes, and then I would start fasting, and some of my friends would ask me for lunch, and I would say that, oh sorry, today I'm not having lunch because I'm fasting. And some of them maybe haven't heard about Ramadan at all, so they were really surprised to know that they cannot eat and not even drink anything the whole day. And then of course I would say that I can eat and drink, but only before the sunrise and after sunset. But I think maybe some of them haven't heard about it at all. One time we had a barbecue party in the summer, and during that year it happened to be also the month of Ramadan, and I happened to not fast during that day, so I came to the party, and there was my friend, I think he was from Germany, and he knew that it was Ramadan, so he was asking me, why are you even here? Shouldn't you be fasting? You shouldn't be here. Are you skipping the fasting? And then I kind of told him that I wasn't fasting because I was on my period, and there was a long awkward pause. So not every Muslim has to fast during Ramadan. There are exceptions, for example, when women are on their period, or when women are having pregnancy, or when people are sick. Sometimes people hesitate to ask because they don't want to come across as being offensive, or maybe they just don't really care at all. But I really appreciate it when people ask me openly about these things, because it shows me how they're willing to learn about the difference.